All right, guys, this story is an interesting one. I gotta say, I feel a little vindicated. I'm not gonna lie. For the last 7 years, let's call it, up until recently, the last 7 years, MatPat, the host and creator of Game Theory, was kind of a disliked creator. He's always been seen as a little cringe, a little nerdy, you know. There was a time where it was cool to hate on MatPat. If you guys don't, if this sounds unthinkable to you, then you probably weren't around on the internet, on YouTube or any of that very much a few years ago. But it was cool to hate on MatPat. He was seen as like an archaic, cringe YouTuber that we all grew out of a long time ago, right? And his coverage of, like, lots of Five Nights at Freddy's theories didn't help with that perception. Definitely didn't help either. However, I've always been a MatPat defender. I've even seen people try to falsely claim MatPat is racist using some of the most egregious, out-of-context clips imaginable. Like, really egregious. Like, clipping him mid-sentence to make it sound like he said a slur. That kind of egregious clipping. I have seen large viral posts on Twitter trying to cancel MatPat, with that being the evidence for why he deserves to get canceled. I have seen so many people who just wanted him to be a bad guy. They wanted him to be a bad guy. And I was always a MatPat defender. A proud MatPat defender. And then, years and years later, he announces he's retiring, and he leaves YouTube, he leaves Game Theory, and he goes off to be a father. You know, seemingly he was retiring. And everybody went from, well, granted, it had been less cool to hate on MatPat for the last couple years before he retired, but, you know, all of a sudden everyone was talking about how much they liked MatPat. And he retired in great dignity, going down as a legend in YouTube's history. So with that said, it is a big surprise to me, though not something I am even a little bit disappointed in him for, that he is now entering the world of politics. And the way in which he's planning to do so is interesting, to say the least. Quote, "It's our hope. Former YouTuber MatPat launches Creator Economy Caucus. Making a play for Politician of the Year with his brave career change, former YouTube star MatPat has officially declared his candidacy for public office, not bringing a game theory, but a bill theory to the game. On June 10th, Patrick took to the House floor to announce the creation of the Creator Economy Caucus, a new bipartisan effort to connect lawmakers with the rapidly growing world of content creation. This is honestly something that the Democrats could really do with. Like, if MatPat works with this is the group that the Democrats need to work with. MatPat is an established legend of online content creation and, like, having a platform and doing messaging through the internet. The Democrats need to work with this caucus that MatPat is making. I'm saying it right now. I know they're supposed to be bipartisan. That just means they'll work with either side. The Dems need to work with this group. Famously analytical and critical in his dissection of pop culture and internet culture on channels like Game Theory, Patrick's creative presence in online spaces has recently shifted towards an entirely civic example. With wife and longtime collaborator Steph Patrick by his side, he launched the Caucus as a place where creators and policymakers can work together on issues at the heart of the digital economy. Oh my god, this is such a MatPat way to announce this. Holy crap. New quest. Let me do my best MatPat impression. New quest, Washington, D.C. After 2 years of work... Ah, damn, I clicked on it to read more. And now it's taking me to Twitter, the cursed site. After 2 years of work, Steph and I have just launched the Creator Economy Caucus in the House of Representatives, a bipartisan group where creators can work alongside lawmakers to ensure legislation is timely and relevant for the internet age. We've already got 10 reps on board, and we're just getting started. We'll eventually want to assemble creator advocates from around the country, so if you're interested in helping Washington understand our world, stay tuned here for more info. And this has pulled 200,000 likes in only 6 days. There is a massive amount of people, maybe not all Americans, but still plenty Americans, that are paying attention to this. This is not just some nothing new caucus that's gonna be in Washington. Like, this is making headlines. MatPat is a huge name. The caucus, already supported by roughly 10 representatives, hopes to be a direct line between content creators and Congress. Their mission, which we echo here, to make sure that any federal legislation is able to move as quickly as a world that changes often, even faster than law books can be updated. At the press conference, Patrick laid out broader policy discussion goals for the caucus, including the promotion of online privacy legislation, AI ethics, algorithmic responsibility, and child safety online. Holy fucking base. Holy crap. Those are his, leading topics. We want to work with politicians and make sure that they understand legislation around internet privacy, the ethics of AI use, algorithmic responsibility, so that's websites that have algorithms, having some level of legal responsibility to not encourage harmful content to proliferate on their platforms, and child safety online, which we all can agree is a concern. Regardless of how you think it should be dealt with, it's a concern. It is something we all worry about. He highlighted the need for legislative certainty when it comes to creator taxation and accessibility to small business resources, issues that seldom make the front page but matter most to the digital entrepreneurs building them. These aren't flashy topics, Patrick admitted, but they're critical to the survival of this budding ecosystem. Man, I love MatPat. He has gained a whole new level of respect from me. Not that he needed it, but he has absolutely unlocked a whole new echelon of respect from me. One fan joked, quote, "We're going into politics with the bite of 87. Others commented, he's extremely more qualified than 90% of the people currently in office. I want to say that's a very soy thing to tweet, but then again, there are a lot of Marjorie Taylor Greenes and Lauren Boeberts in Congress, for instance. Congress is full of nonsense people, people who don't have a professional bone in their body, people who it is astonishing ever got a seat in Congress. It feels like they're just handing seats in Congress out these days to just the most weird people. So as much as I want to call that tweet kind of soy or cringe to say, it's not that far off. It really isn't that far off. MatPat is actively creating. He's not running for office here. Maybe in the future he'll run for office. I've seen this framed, headline-wise, I've seen this story framed as, MatPat running for office. And he might down the road, but this seems to be more of, a consultation group. A group that is meant to, go in front of lawmakers and do their best to make a case to them for why, their goal is to go in front of Congress and explain to Congress an issue relevant to something they're going to be voting on in a committee, explain to them the important context they should all know to make an informed vote, because most of these people are old, they're dusty, they don't know much about tech. Who remembers that one classic video? Everyone remembers it, right? We need to avoid this ever happening again.
Will you commit to ending Finsta?
Senator, again, let me explain. We don't actually do Finsta. What Finsta refers to is young people setting up accounts where they may want to have more privacy. You refer to it as privacy from their parents. What in my interaction with teens, what I found is that they sometimes like to have an account where they can interact just with a smaller group of friends.
Well, Finsta is one of your.
We've actually.
Finsta is one of your products or services. We're not talking here about Google or Apple. It's Facebook, correct?
Finsta is slang for a type of account.
Okay, will you end that type of account?
I'm not sure I understand.
This would be like if a senator demanded from a CEO, will you end these shit posting accounts? Why does your site offer a service to create a shit posting account?
I understand exactly what you're asking.
What is Finsta? It's teen slang from like, I want to say when I was a teenager, it was like a common thing to say. Back when like Instagram and Facebook were like the go-to social media platforms. Like she said, a lot of teenagers would just make an alt account, a secret alt account, that they would call a Finsta, just slang, that was meant to be like just for their close friends. Usually their parents and family didn't know about it because it's meant to be like the social media where you can post as your actual self without like the rest of your family or the internet seeing like what you're joking about, what you're saying, what thoughts you're expressing. And so this politician doesn't recognize that that isn't a feature offered by Facebook or Instagram. It's just an account that people have a slang name for. But this is the kind of lack of knowledge that MatPat's committee is going to try to acknowledge. Once again, look how fucking clueless this senator is.
Finsta is one of your products or services. We're not talking here about Google or Apple. It's Facebook, correct?
Finsta is slang for a type of account.
Okay, will you end that type of account?
I'm not sure I understand exactly what you're asking. What I can say is that based on what we've seen in terms of teens using those kinds of accounts, we've actually given them additional privacy options to address those kinds of issues where they want more privacy so that they can have more privacy.
Well, I don't think that's an answer to my question.
So yeah, if you think for a second that we don't need this committee that MatPat is putting together, you're wrong. We need this. We need our politicians to be educated about the world of the internet, the content creator economy, algorithms, online safety, AI, crypto. These are the things that we need politicians, especially in Congress, where anybody can be elected to Congress these days. We need these people to have at least the opportunity to get important context so they can vote on things with, like, an informed opinion. You know what I mean? With the creator economy firmly... Actually, you know what? Let me read the full Instagram post from MatPat. This is MatPat's Instagram post announcing this. Get ready, Washington. Here we come. After 2 years of work, Steph and I have just launched the Creator Economy Caucus in the House of Representatives, a bipartisan group where creators can work alongside lawmakers to ensure legislation is timely and relevant for all of us online, aka no more cringy memes of Congress asking about getting poked on Facebook. Our goal? To make... I love that he actually referenced that. Our goal? To make sure creators are respected and seen as the legitimate businesses that they are, to ensure that this ecosystem thrives for decades to come. You know, as a content creator as well, I do like that there is a group now in American politics centered around advocating for content creators' labor rights. Because YouTube is, like, month by month eroding whatever level of, like, respect for the labor of its creators there even was in the first place. And it's getting to the point now where, like, people are calling it out a lot. There needs to be some level of, like, legal consequences for YouTube if they're going to, like, say shut down a big YouTuber's channel. You know, just, like, shut it down. and ban them. You know, it's like you're shutting down a business, right? Like there needs to be some legal like process for when you're shutting down someone's business, even if it's entirely hosted on your platform. Right now, you have no recourse in a situation like that, which is a little weird. It's a little weird. Our goal: to make sure creators are respected and seen as the legitimate business people that they are, to ensure that this ecosystem thrives for decades to come. It's time for the government to catch up with where the economy is now, and we're helping to do that, and momentum is strong. In just one day, we've already got 10 reps who understand how important this is, and we're just getting started. We'll eventually want to assemble creator advocates from around the country, so if you're interested in helping Washington understand our world, stay tuned here for more info. Hell yeah, MatPat. You've made me proud today. You've made me proud. I've watched game theory since I was in 6th grade. And now, as a content creator myself, I'm rooting for MatPat as he enters the world of politics to not only educate our elected representatives on the internet and social media so they can vote, informed on these policies that relate to the internet and social media, but on top of that, to advocate for the labor rights of online content creators, which right now are completely at the voluntary whims of whatever platforms those creators exist on, which is kind of the worst from a labor rights perspective, like horrible. Anyway, though, with that all said, big shout out to MatPat. I love to see this from him, but if you enjoyed this segment, if you found it entertaining, educational, or enjoyable in any way, then please consider leaving a like and a comment down below. Every thumbs up and every comment you leave boosts my channel in the algorithm, forcing YouTube to push my content to new people who've never seen me before in the algorithm. Helps to grow the channel immensely, so I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, you can also leave the comment too. You can just comment, "Who up Xandering they haul," if you don't know what to say. It really does help. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon to turn on all notifications if you haven't done so already. It'll actually ensure, well, it won't ensure it, but it'll help to increase the chances that YouTube actually tells you when I go live or upload new videos in the future. And of course, if you want to see more from me on other platforms, you can follow my social medias linked down below. Particularly, I recommend you join my fan Discord, which is the main hub of my community and my fan base. On top of that, I host gaming events, call-in streams, watch parties, movie nights, and on top of that, I announce all my new uploads and streams there in the Discord server. As for the movie nights, they happen every Friday, every week, so I hope to see you guys there. And finally, if you want to support me directly, financially, help me keep the lights on and a roof above my head here at the Xander Hall studio, then please consider donating, subscribing, or gifting a sub on my website, xanderhall.com/live, or support me through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, Patreon, or support me by buying some custom Xander Hall merch through the Streamlabs link down below. Regardless of how you support me, though, thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a good one.